Hello, my name is Jim DeMeo, and this is A Course in Miracles. We're on Lesson 80, and I want to say before I begin, he continues to challenge this human way that we deal with life, to give us a more spiritually guided way to deal with life, not to avoid things, not to avoid your problems, but to just set things in perspective so that you really can find a way. Let's get to the lesson. If you're willing, let me recognize my problems have been solved. Lesson 80. If you are willing to recognize your problems, you will recognize that you have no problems. I wonder what he's talking about, huh? Hopefully you know by now. Your one central problem has been answered, and you have no other. The one central problem, central to everything, is thinking that we're separate, falling into the illusion of being a body and therefore separate. Yes, we have a body, and yes, we want to deal with the body, but let's first remember what we really are. Let's recognize that in God's wonderful goodness, the tiny mad idea of being separate was immediately solved. God himself solved the problem, saying, you may think you're separate, but you're really not. I'll wait for you to realize that you're not. So here's God still waiting on us. Each day we come closer to saying, oh, what a loving God you are. Thank God you have solved our problem of separation, and there is none. Your one central problem has been answered, and you have no other. Therefore, you must be at peace. Somewhere inside of you is that peace. Salvation thus depends on recognizing this one problem and understanding that it's been solved. Yeah, because if we don't recognize what really is troubling us, if we don't recognize that it really is resolved, how can we be at peace? And if we're not at peace, how can we resolve anything in our life? Get the peace first. One problem, one solution, salvation. There's what's important. Our continuity, our reality, our meaning. Salvation is accomplished. Freedom from conflict has been given you if you want it. You don't have to be in the conflict. Accept that fact and you're ready to take your rightful place in God's plan for salvation. Your life as a plan. Your only problem has been solved. Repeat this over and over to yourself today with gratitude and conviction. You have recognized your only problem, opening the way for the Holy Spirit to give you God's answer. You have laid deception aside and seen the light of truth. You have accepted salvation for yourself by bringing the problem to the answer. And you can recognize the answer because the problem has been identified. You are entitled to peace today. A problem that has been resolved cannot trouble you. Only be certain that you do not forget that all problems are the same. Their many forms will not deceive you while you remember this. One problem, one solution. Accept the peace this simple statement brings. From that peace you'll have the guidance. In our longer practice periods today, we will claim the peace that must be ours when the problem and the answer have been brought together. The problem must be gone because God's answer cannot fail. Having recognized one, you recognize the other. The solution is inherent in the problem. You are answered and have accepted your answer. You are saved. Now let the peace that your acceptance brings be given you. Close your eyes, receive your reward. Recognize that your problems have been solved. Recognize that you are out of conflict, free and at peace. Above all, Remember that you have one problem and that the one solution. It is in this that the simplicity of salvation lies. It is because of this that it is guaranteed to work. And when you apply it to the little things in your life, you'll be amazed. Assure yourself often today that your problems have been solved. Repeat the idea with deep conviction as frequently as possible, and be particularly sure to apply the idea for today to any specific problem that may arise. Say quickly, let me recognize this problem has been solved. Let us be determined not to collect grievances today. Let us be determined to be free of problems that do not exist. The means is simply honesty. Do not deceive yourself about what the problem is. And you must recognize it has been solved. So, if you are having trouble applying to this, by all means, step into the dialogue in our group, Attitudinal Healing. For now, I look forward to your comments.